Morning.
Morning. Morning, Rosie. It's Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. How are you today?
Waiting for the sun to come up.
I know. Mine's coming up. Your,
Yeah.
yours
It's
will
chilly.
be
I
soon.
haven't opened the windows yet. How are you doing?
I'm doing well today. Hi,
And then we have Cheryl who's in full sun.
Cheryl. Take us with
There it
you.
is.
Let us come with
There we
you.
go. Jealous.
Hey, there's Annie. That sounds like
Happy to be
Glenn.
here. Yep.
You even
How
look
are you?
you look tan already.
Yes, she does. All right.
Have so much fun. Thanks for being here. We'll be getting started in just another minute and a half. If you need to go grab blocks, go ahead and get them. I'd like to have at least one today, maybe two. Okay, we've got about another 20 seconds. So grab those blocks, maybe a strap if you have one handy. And we may not get to that, but definitely the blocks. Good morning. Happy to hear all those little things, meaning people are signing in and here in class today. It is wonderful to be able to connect with you like this, and I can't wait to see you in person. So we're still moving through this wonderful book, Happiness is an Inside Job by Sylvia Boorstein. And we're talking about wise effort. Yesterday we spoke about having a phrase, and it does become effortful when you have to repeat this phrase all the time. And eventually, like anything else, it becomes easier. It sets a little groove. And it's much like our physical exercises that we do. In the beginning, we tire easily and it's hard to build those muscles. But once you do, things get a little bit easier. And the phrase we talked about yesterday was, may all beings be at ease. Well, then she goes on to say that keeping the mind hospitable is very important. And it also requires wise effort through wise speech. So we have these dialogues going on in our brain all the time. And in that sense, every situation is presented with kind of like an editorial decision, is what she calls it. Meaning that we automatically say to ourselves, it's very dualistic thinking, this is a good situation or this is a bad situation. I like this situation or I don't like this situation. And so the speech that comes with that is very important. We have the choice of turning that speech into something good. When you compliment another person, for instance, it brings into a sense of happiness in the mind. So when the mind is contemptuous, it's cloudy, and then we can't see the wisdom that's there, so we can't make proper decisions. So Sylvia Boorstein says that coming into a place of compliments in your speech, which is wise effort, and it is effortful to continuously find that positive speech, that will draw your mind into a relaxed place where then you can see the wisdom. Kind speech makes the mind feel safe and glad. Every time she met a person and every time they introduced somebody, they said something really kind about that person. So that will be our homework for the weekend. When you see someone, when you introduce someone, when you talk about someone, find a compliment to say about them, and a true compliment. I remember when my kids were little, I was teaching them this, and I used to say, look, even the color of their shirt can be something you like. So in your mind, you can say, I like the color of that shirt. So start with simple things and then work into truer and deeper, more meaningful compliments. All right, let's begin in a wide-legged downward facing dog. Once you get into that established place, start your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose, making it a little bit of a rhythm. And this is also an effortful practice, to keep coming back to the breath. So include that in your wise effort as we breathe in and breathe out. We'll start with a little twist. Let's take the right hand to the left ankle. And if it doesn't reach the left ankle, feel free to go somewhere else, maybe to the thigh or the floor. The idea is to start to look underneath your left armpit and still find a place to breathe Ujjayi style. Now come on back to center. One breath here, and we'll go the opposite. Left hand underneath, stopping at the place that's good. It could be the thigh, it could be the floor, it could be the ankle. But still using Ujjayi breath. And then come on back to center again, wide-legged dog. Let's pivot both toes to the right, and right away check into the left shoulder. If it's all good, right arm comes up, and we expand the whole front side to stretch open. Come on back, still wide legs, drop to your knees, lower down for a little mini chaturanga, and then come up just enough so that you have some space to move here. See if you can draw the right shoulder off to the left side, maybe the left hip even lifts. And then come on back. We'll do the other side, looking over your right shoulder. Then lifting it right back up, downward facing dog, wide legs again. Nice big stretch. Pivot both toes left, checking into right shoulder. If all is good, lift up, nice big stretch here. Come back, still wide legs. And this time just lower any way you can, all the way down. Then we'll move into some serpentines. So we start to twist to the left as we lift up a little bit, twist to the right as we lift up higher. Another 2 twists like that coming up. And we'll do the same thing coming down, just little serpentines, letting the spine move back and forth. Last one, we come back up. Still with your wide toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Look forward, you can step or hop to the front so that the feet come wide outside of the hands, and hang heavy here, crossing elbows. Let your body sway back and forth if that's okay. Maybe a little bit early yet, so pay attention to the lower back. If that doesn't feel good, don't sway. But find a sense of heaviness here in the shoulders and the arms. Let the head drop down so the crown of the head is coming towards the floor. And then from here, keep your arms crossed, come up just a little bit. Pull the belly in. At the point where you can let the arms dangle, let them dangle. Keep lifting. Keep the belly strong. Making your way all the way up. Last thing to lift is the chin. Pivot the toes out, coming into a little yogic squat, hands to cactus. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, and take one more. And exhale. Coming back up to standing. Let's tiptoe the feet together. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop it back, and you decide where you want to go. Maybe just to knees and plank, lifting up dog or cobra, and then taking it back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Right leg comes forward, low lunge, dropping to left knee. Inhale to lift up. Now expand the whole front side. If you're able to, see if you can flip the palms to face the back. So expanding a little more here, external rotation. Lift up out of the right hip and see if you can take your chest up to the sky. And then extend over right leg, pulling right hip crease back. Come up just enough to pull the toes back now. And then release the leg, all fours, chin, chest, and knees. We squeeze the elbows in, lower chin and chest, scoop through to a mini cobra pose, and then take it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Left leg forward, dropping to right knee. Inhale to lift up. Now start opening the front side, maybe flipping palms to face behind you. Lift up out of the left hip. Chest is lifting up to the sky. Exhale over left leg. Come up just enough to pull the toes back and take another stretch. All fours, chin, chest, and knees. So we squeeze the elbows in, lower chin and chest, scoop through mini cobra, and then come right back up, downward facing dog. Thinking nice thoughts, happy thoughts, so we can clear the mind to see and hear the wisdom that resides innately inside of us. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the front. Come up halfway. Exhale, release forward again. Inhale to standing, arms come with you for a big stretch at the top, and we'll just keep going one more. Belly is strong as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop it back, straight through to chaturanga or stopping along the way. Up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Left leg comes forward, inhaling up, lunge position. Lifting up, opening the front side, little mini back bend here, keeping left hip crease working back and lifting up out of the hips. Come back up to straight legs and we'll extend over the left leg. So you might need blocks here just to press into. Pull the left toes back up as you stretch one more time. Send left leg back for a one or two-legged descent. So coming forward into one or two-legged plank pose, lowering chaturanga or trianga, inhaling one or two-legged up dog or cobra. One-legged downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, and then replace the leg. Downward facing dog. Inhale, and exhale. Same thing, right side. Right leg passes through, high lunge position. Lifting up. I'll see if you can take the chest a little higher, so opening the whole front side. Come on back up, straight legs, inhale here. Exhale, stretch over right leg. Come up just enough to lift the toes back. And then send the right leg back. One or two-legged dog. Coming forward into one or two-legged plank. lowering chat or trianga, inhaling for one or two-legged up dog, and then come right back. One-legged dog, right leg lifts, replace the leg and breathe. So if you are looking for a kind thing to say, you can say to yourself, may all beings be at ease. And that's just a nice phrase to carry with you throughout the day. One more breath. Bend the knees here, look forward, step or hop to the front. Come up halfway, and then release forward again. Inhale to standing. So here's where we might need a block, if you have one. And if you don't, you can still do pretty much all of the exercises with it. If you don't have a block, you're just going to imagine you do and pretend you're squeezing your arms together. Otherwise, long side of the block. Inhale to lift up. Arms are by the ears. Pull the belly in. Big inhale again. And as you exhale, start bowing off to the right side. Trying to squeeze the block. Allowing the left hip to go to the left to counterbalance as you extend your arms to the right. Taking another breath. Inhale back to center. We go opposite direction to the left. Keep squeezing the block, pushing hips to the right to counterbalance. Belly stays nice and strong. Coming back to center. We're moving to back bend. So if you don't like your arms up and back bend, certainly let it go and take your hands to the hips. If you don't usually do this, this is a good time to practice not going so deeply into the back bend. Take your arms up, squeeze the block, let the hips come forward, pull the belly in. Now we keep the weight in the heels, but we allow the hips to come forward. So you may not go as far when you're squeezing the block. Come on back up, still with block. Let's big inhale here and exhale, come down. We'll just place the block in its highest form off to the left side. Now separate your feet a little bit. Take peace fingers to the big toes. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, hinge forward, pulling the toes and pushing down on the toes. So we have this kind of tug of war with finger and toes. Using your Ujjayi breath each time you decide to move, tapping into that innate wisdom so that you know where to go. Shift slightly into the toes. One more breath. And then let it all go. All right, we're going to release the hands. Take your left hand to the block. And again, if you don't have the block, that's okay. You'll just come up a little higher and maybe take hold of your right knee as the rest of us try to take peace fingers to the big toe. We look for this shape. We're lifting the right leg up and then take it back down. We'll do that again. Lift up and down. And this last one, let's see if we can come to standing. So you lift up, toes look forward. Then when you come to standing, the toes flip up towards the ceiling. Pull the belly in, set a drishti point. Now start to draw the right leg forward. We won't let go. Instead, switch the grip on your hand and take the leg behind you for just a tiny little bow pose. Won't go very far in it. And then release. Let's go ahead and take the block again. Squeezing arms together. Inhale, lift up. On the out breath, tilting left. So again, we're allowing the hips to counterbalance us, meaning we can go as far as we want and probably won't fall because the hips are going to take that balance for us. Come on back to center. We'll go opposite direction. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bowing to the right. And let the hips push way off to the left to give you that sense of balancing. Come on back up. We'll take another back bend. Inhale to lift. Exhale, open the front side. Again, weights in the heels. Pelvis comes forward. It's a counterbalance, but also it's a way of allowing the lower back to not kink up so much. So we don't want the seat coming out. We want the seat long. Pulling belly in, and then come on back up. Big inhale here. As you exhale, forward fold. placing block off to the right side. Let's separate the feet again, this time inserting palms underneath the feet and coming into your forward fold. Let the head be heavy. Shift slightly into the toes. And that just feels good too on the wrist. So wiggle your toes a little bit to give yourself a tiny massage. Lift the kneecaps. One more breath. And we release the hands. Right hand to the block. Peace fingers on the left toe, or maybe you're holding the knee. All right, here we go. Left leg lifts and lower. Lift and lower. Now this time as you lift, toes are looking forward. Now start to come up, and we let the toes lift up to the ceiling. Won't hold too long. Leg comes forward. Again, not going to let go today. Instead, we reverse the grip, coming into a little pose, little dancer's pose. Standing bow pose. Kick it back. It's just a little one. And then release. All right, that's a very nice warm-up. Let's take the feet a little bit wider, coming into Upavishasana, little sitting pose. Now once you're down here, you can feel it out. You know if you're ready to start to do some movements in here. If this doesn't feel good, maybe you want to come up a little higher and just hang out here. We're just kind of working into the inner thigh, groin area. We'll start with 8 flying crows. So from here we inhale up and down, up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one will stay down. And down here, just think of the push into the arms and the push away into the knees. So this action is very good for finding a sense of balance and activating your core. Perfect to hang out here. If you're playing with Bakasana today, let's go for it. Those of you who know Bakasana, jump right in. If you're new to it, or if you're still practicing the lighter version, try this. The hands come down inside the legs. We hinge forward, squeeze the legs into the arms, and then push away. So as I said before, that action will activate the core, and this takes you into a place of being able to lift. So coming forward more than you think you should, keep that squeeze action. Lift one foot, place it back down, lift the other foot, place it back down. See if you can lift both feet. Those of you who are in the fuller Bakasana, you're trying to take the heels up to your hips and straighten the arms. It's as if you were going to lift right up into a handstand. Everybody step or hop it back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice big breaths here. Just start to establish Ujjayi breath again in case that went away. So you can see how much effort it would take to remember to breathe Ujjayi style throughout the class. And it takes that much effort to remember to make your mind a hospitable place through complimentary speech, kind words. May all beings be at ease. Okay, we begin right side. Right leg lifts, stack the hips, bend the knee, lift your head, look over your left side. If you're flipping, go ahead and flip. If you're staying here, stay. Maybe you want to do something in between, which would be like a little side plank flip. Open up. And then come on back. The right leg lifts. We come forward, twisting underneath, right knee into the left armpit. Then exhale, take it back. Knee to nose forward. Tucking around. Exhale back. Now this last one will hold. Right knee comes to the outside of the right arm. You can stay there, hover and hold, or maybe move into your balancing pose here. They're both good. They both require a lot of work. Last breath wherever you are. Plant the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Stay high on the ball of the left foot. And we'll take a big twist to the right. Pushing the left arm away to feel that sense of lifting up. Opening the whole front side, twisting. Now keep this shape and drop to left knee. Once you're down, release the toes. And then just play with the idea of twisting a little more. If you think it would feel good to bend the left knee, try that. And then you just take the foot and start to inch the heel towards your hip. Go nice and slowly and mindfully. Taking one more big breath. And then we make our way back inside the right leg. From here, gently encourage the right knee open. We're not going to stay too long in this. I just want to feel the right hip out and see how it's working today. If you feel good and you want to encourage it open a little more, a gentle, gentle push. Again, always paying attention to the down arm, the left arm, making sure we're not sagging into the ear. Last breath like that. Come back to center. Toe walk your right foot into the center. And then inhale to lift back up for that lunge position. If you're able, hands interlace. And we lift up, opening the front side, finding a tiny back bend here. From here, we're lifting up out of the hips so we're not sagging down. Find a big lift in the hips. Opening up, one more big breath like that. And then come back to center, extending the right leg long for Hanuman. So for some of us, our Hanuman is right here, and maybe you play with pulling the toes back the way we did in that sun salutation warm-up. Those of you going a little deeper, feel free, but always finding kindness in the moves you make in your body and finding kind words. If today your body doesn't want to do it, then instead of reprimanding yourself, find something nice to say. Today, my body needs a break. Today, my body's cold. Speaking of cold, we're getting some warm weather coming in, which will be nice. Another breath, opening up. Toe walking back. Once you get into that square place, tuck your left toes. We lift up for cactus arms in lunge position. Inhale, expand as you drop towards left knee. Exhale, contract to come back up. Two more. Inhale, expand and drop down. Exhale, contract to lift up. One more, down. And this time as you come up, think warrior one. So when you come up, step the left foot out a little bit. You may have to go a tiny bit wider to find a warrior one where we can sink the right leg down so that the thigh is coming towards parallel to the floor. Flip your palms open towards the back so that you get this broad sense. Shoulders, arms are working external in their rotation. Nice deep breaths. Right arm on top of left once or twice for eagle. Snuggle right shoulder down. Now check back into your right leg. Make sure you're still with integrity in the pose by dropping that thigh down towards parallel to the floor. Elbows only. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, back down. And then one more, up and down. See if you can lower the fingertips so that you have a good drishti set in place. The hand between the eyes gives you split vision, like the eagle. That's how they hunt. So perhaps that's why this is called eagle pose. Circling left leg over, you can come up and just dangle. Maybe you touch the floor or double wrap. Wherever you are, think of it as a chair pose, sinking down in this position. Taking another breath. And we come out for eagle three. So left knee lifts, send the leg back, internal rotation. Keep the arms just for another breath or two. Finding that place, right glute working hard. Now start to open the arms as you take the left leg back and look towards your left for warrior two. Again, like warrior one and warrior two, let's think of that right thigh coming towards parallel to the floor. Arms are strong, nice and straight, looking over right fingertips. Be aware of shoulders over hips instead of chasing the warrior. We'll do that in just a second. Nice deep breath. Left arm down for reverse warrior. Stretching as deeply as you like. Always taking the mind's eye to the right knee, making sure it didn't collapse inward. And then if you're taking strengthening pose, left arm lifts. Hover and hold. Now see if you can keep that right leg bent as it is and just come into side angle pose. Side angle, we're looking for one long line from armpit to floor. Checking right shoulder to the ear, making sure there's space, and then adding left arm. We take the arm over the ear, flip the palm, so the palm's facing back, thumb is coming towards up, pinky towards down, and then look underneath your left armpit. You can take the right hand to the floor. All right, if you need a block for half moon, get it ready. From here, we're already in shape to just take off from here. So you think 18 inches to 24 inches forward, coming up into half moon pose. Once you're there, think of drawing the left shoulder back with the torso and lifting left leg. If Chanda Chapa is in your practice, go ahead. Take hold of the foot. One more. Extend leg long, tilt back, pivot both toes towards the left. Hands at the hips, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, hinge forward. First, just take a little breath here, aligning yourself, rolling into the outsides of the feet without lifting the big toes. So we have big toes grounded as well as pinky toes. Then come up halfway, plant left hand underneath the chin line, and we'll take a nice twist to the right. Just take a little scan here mentally and see where your hips are in alignment with your heels. If they're way back, shift the weight into your toes and come forward. Now, if you have bent knees, that's fine. If your legs are straight, start lifting the kneecaps here. It's hard to lift the kneecaps when the legs are bent, but you can try. Pull the belly in. If you can, drishti's up to the right. Hand comes back down. We come up just halfway to swing the arms behind us, right thumb on top interlacing, roll the shoulders up and back, and then return to your forward fold. Making sure to let the head come down so the crown of the head is tilting towards the floor. And for me, that's my place where I start thinking of letting go of all of the stuff that's clogging me from being able to see clearly and to hear clearly. Now, if it's okay, take an in-breath and see if the message is such that it's all right to lift the arms away from your sacrum a little bit or a lot. But you'll go nice and slowly and mindfully in increments to decide that. Let's take one more big breath here. And now start to make your way up. Your arms are already behind you and hopefully feeling relatively prepared to go into reverse prayer. Reverse prayer looks like this. The hands come together and it should be relatively comfortable. If it's not and it's hurting you for some reason, don't do it. Just take opposite elbow to opposite wrist. You can even leave your hands at your hips if that feels better. But wherever you are, let's pivot back to the